Could I wait? I made plans with you, and I won't let
Hey,
it
it's your
fall
girl
through.
Felicia. Welcome to my channel. I'm gonna talk about today about my life story. That I was initially sick, and I hope you guys give me thumbs up about it and story. How I actually found out I had lupus when I was initially 13, and I was in a hospital, and officially no, I actually found out when my illness started system came in, and I started feeling when I was in middle school. I was having a good time, and then I started feel sick. My feet were swollen, my hands were swollen. I couldn't even barely. I was dragging to myself to class one day, and I was dragging to go upstairs. I couldn't even feel my foot. I had to pull myself upstairs and go to the next class. It was so much in pain. Like a lot of kids was coming up and down. I couldn't even go upstairs. And my teacher was like telling me, "You want to do the elevator?" I was like, "No, let me try the steps. Let me just go through the steps first. If this is worse, I'm gonna go elevator." So that day, I found out I used the elevator. I was so much in pain. I couldn't even talk. I was so much in tears. And I went home and I told my mother I didn't feel good. And she was like, if you don't feel good, much in pain. I couldn't even, when I was coming home, I couldn't even find myself come upstairs in my own house either. And I went upstairs every morning. My mom see I was so much in pain. She was asking me, "Do you want to stay home?" I was like, "No, I want to go to school." So I went to school, and I could literally have no idea how much in pain I was. I couldn't even bear myself to. I was forcing myself to go. I had to. I was so much in pain. So I went to school, and my teacher was like, "You don't feel good? Let me know. I'll just call your mom. They can pick you up and anything." I was like, "No, I'll make it through the day." I couldn't make it through the day. I was so much in tears. I couldn't even barely hold myself. So actually, I slept through the night. I was sleeping in my parents' room, and my father was like, I told my dad I'm in pain. He was like, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" I say, "No. I will see how the pain will go away on their own." So the pain didn't go away. It was so much more worse. It got worse and worse and worse. I feel like my body was gonna shut down. I couldn't even feel like I was in the bottom. So my dad was like, "Okay, you know what? Dress yourself up. We're about to go to Boston Medical Center." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got up and got dressed. I couldn't even dress myself up. My mom had to dress me up. It was sad. And I couldn't even do nothing with my own life. So, and I woke up. I can't even walk to the car. I can't walk downstairs to go to downstairs to get out the house. I had to drag myself to leave the house. And the first day, I literally went to the car. I was scared. I was really scared of my life. Like this is not normal. This is not me. I went to Children's Hospital, and I went to see if one of my doctors could see me. So they saw me, they was telling me, "Felicia, you don't feel good. You don't look good. This is don't look right on you. Um, well, we're about to send you to another hospital." I was like, "Okay." So my dad sitting next to me, starting crying, and the nurse was telling my dad to weak and stuff. I was like, "Well, it's not," and I was like, I look away. I don't want to see my dad cry. So my tears was about to come, but I have to hold it back in. So my tears really hold. And I can't look at my dad. My dad was upset. And I actually went to I actually went to they told me like, "Okay, we're gonna send you to Children's Hospital." I was like, "All right." So my dad when I got to Children's Hospital, they rushed me in the emergency room. They looked at me. They said, "This is look bad. You can't go home. We'll look over. The doctor will see you tomorrow morning and see how you feel, but we'll give you medication for tonight." I said, okay, so all the nurses they was treat me like they, I was they treat me I was home. And I was so much, my mom's like job was literally next to the hospital. It was like she was literally next door. So my mom came the next day and stayed at the hospital with me. Morning, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I got up, I got some breakfast and stuff like that. I was so much in pain I can't even talk. So my mother was like so the doctor came in and was like, Miss Cadet, um, well, we have for me. So they gave me the bad news. It's like, well, you got lupus. I look at the doctor. I was looking at the doctor. I was like, "Are you serious? This is a joke? Are you guys kidding me?" Because I couldn't even talk. Because they say on my first inspection, like I was like really shocked. And my mother was talking to me. I was like in Haitian way, and I was looking at my mom like I couldn't even talk to her because I couldn't even explain what she's saying at that point. And I was like, okay, do I just this thing or should I just like say something about it? So I didn't know what it was, anything. So they gave me medication. They gave me so much medication. My actual doctor came to my house in the hospital, looked at me, and says, she was like, "This is crazy. I never see this young girl get this kind of medication." They said the old lady but that I never known a younger female could get it. So I was very scared, very not fun to be doing stuff so like that. Actually, when I was almost in the hospital, almost a month, I didn't feel good in anything else. I was still in pain more. They gave me medication, but I still looked better. I was feeling much better, but I was still sick at the same time. It's like, all right, well, we're gonna send you home and everything else. So the next day, I went home. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I could have. I was really still didn't feel good. I didn't go home. So I didn't go to school for like a month. I went back to school. Everybody else gave me a welcome card. I hope you feel better. I feel so much better. So like then 3 months later, actually yeah, 3 months. I think yeah, it was 3 months later, and I started had migraine. My migraine was so much. I had the worst migraine I never had in my life. So I told my mother, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I'm having a headache. I don't feel good. I want to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. I went to children, and they rushed me in the emergency room. And the doctors told me the same night, they told me I have high blood pressure. My high blood pressure was very high. They couldn't even control it. And they said my kidneys. And and it was just like it was horrible. So it was my other experience was I have to go to like a clinic for every month to clean my kidneys and get back to control. Every every yeah, it was like every Monday I have to go there. I didn't go to school at all for this because I have to get this thing cleaned out. I was so much they was cleaning up my skin out. I couldn't even explain how much they really like put flushed out my kidneys. I was there like till the morning to the afternoon. I was dark that day too, and it was a horrible experience. It was a lot of pain, emotional, but cut the short. But to this day, I feel so much better, and there's a lot of people out there have the same illness as me. Keep fighting because you never know what's gonna happen the next day and stuff like that. But young girls that does get it, you have to just be careful with your body giving you signals and give you symptoms. You let your parents know, let your doctor know that you don't feel well. How it feels.